All right, let's talk a little politics now. And what if they held primary elections and no one showed up? No, it's not a punchline to a joke. It could be the case, especially if weather's rough, tomorrow as New York State holds more primaries with low single-digit turnout than has normally been expected. And Andrew, this isn't just for dog catcher. There's some real races tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true, Rich.
No
and these, well, I don't think they elect them anymore, at least in most places. Primaries in June, they don't happen very often. This one only happened because of a redistricting mess in Albany. The expected low turnout could lead to some surprise finishes in races that will definitely impact the big election day come November. Tomorrow is the state's federal primaries. That means primary voting for the state's U.S. Senate seat, the one that's up this year, and for all 27 congressional districts. Polls are open until 9 p.m. tomorrow. The headline race, the only statewide race, the GOP primary to see who'll challenge incumbent Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. 3 Republicans are squaring off. Attorney Wendy Long, Queens Congressman Bob Turner, and Nassau County Comptroller George Maragos have to call Turner the slight favorite, but if turnout is low, it's really anyone's guess who wins. The rest of tomorrow's most interesting races are for congressional seats. In Brooklyn's open 8th district seat, the party establishment, including Governor Cuomo, backing Assemblyman Hakeem Jeffries in his primary fight against City Councilman Charles Barron, in part to support Jeffries, but mainly to stop Barron, who's widely seen as an extremist who'd have no problem attacking his party or president while representing the Democrats. In Harlem's 13th district, longtime Congressman Charlie Rangel could face one of his toughest primary challenges against State Senator Adriano Espaillat. It's Rangel's first election since he was censured by Congress in late 2010. There are 3 other candidates on that ballot as well. In Westchester County's 17th district, Joe Carvin's campaign has been hitting the panic button to try to stop Jim Russell's unlikely candidacy. Russell won the nomination 2 years ago, but was destroyed by incumbent Democrat Nita Lowey in the general, in part because of old Russell writings that seem to support racial and religious separation. The Carvin camp fearing that low turnout could lead to a Russell win and an almost guaranteed GOP loss this fall. And in the Hudson Valley's 18th district, 5 Democrats seek the nomination to run against incumbent Republican Nan Hayworth. This is a district that's flipped between Democratic and Republican in recent cycles. It could be a race to watch this fall. Our Kim L'Engle caught up with one of those Democrats, Sean Patrick Maloney, today. Maloney's a former advisor to President Clinton and an unsuccessful candidate for state attorney general in 2006. Kim began by asking about the negative view most people have of Congress and what his approach would be if elected.
I hear this every day from people on all sides of the political spectrum, that it is broken, it is more about politics than it is about solving people's problems. It's wrong, we got to fix it. I'm a problem solver. I work with anybody to get things done. I did that in the Clinton administration. I did it in the governor's office. What we've got to do is we've got to stop yelling at each other. We've got to work together and solve people's problems. We got real problems to solve. That's what I want to do.
What specifically would your approach be?
Well, first, you've got to develop a strategy to create jobs in the Hudson Valley. That's number one. So we all ought to be able to agree on things like infrastructure. We all ought to be able to agree on things like education. We all ought to be able to agree on things like returning wealth to the middle class, because until we get the middle class growing again, feeling like they got money in their pocket again, we are never going to get anywhere in this country. Nan
Hayworth, she's the Republican in the seat right now. Rate her performance.
I think she is the worst member of Congress in New York. Voting to end Medicare not once but twice is about as dumb an idea as I can think of. This job is about helping people. And instead of trying to end Medicare, we ought to be thinking about ways to make the Congress work for working and middle class families again. Because right now, it's only working for people who are wealthy enough and rich enough and who have lobbyists to get the laws they want.
And health care. We're waiting for the Supreme Court to come down with a decision. Would you have voted to reform health care?
Let me tell you what I support. I think it is great that families right now can keep their kids on their health insurance policies till they're 26, because a lot of kids are coming out of school, if they're lucky enough to go to school, and they can't find a job. I think it should be illegal to deny people health insurance for pre-existing conditions, so I support that. The law right now says that women should not pay more for the health insurance premiums than men do. Nan Hayworth thinks we should go back to a time when in every state in the country, women paid more than men and were discriminated against in health insurance premiums. I think that's wrong. So whether it's helping seniors with prescription drug costs, which will be better under health care reform, or these other things I mentioned, I support the common sense pieces of this that really will help working and middle class families get quality, affordable health care. I think that people may not realize that I approach this job like one of them, thinking about, how is this community going to look and change and feel, and I want to be a part of making it better, and that's why I'm in this race.